Yeah, I'm a big fan of automation. We're a small company in terms of people that do medium-sized HVAC company output.
Okay.
And so I needed to make sure that we were able to deliver the kind of service that was expected of us in that particular instance without necessarily having to expand a ton of like clerical office-based positions. I was looking for automations,
Okay.
which is why I was looking at Chirp, why I was looking at Hatch for when leads hit the funnel, right? I wanted a kind of a centralized lead center for Apple Aire. So Scorpion integrates with Hatch, and Hatch integrates with ServiceTitan. Scorpion integrates directly with ServiceTitan as well. And so I wanted the automations for every single lead that hits on every single different platform that we have. I wanted it in kind of like a lead dashboard that I could control. And that's what Hatch allowed us to do. And then obviously establish the automation there for messaging was great as well. Being able to create audiences, super handy there too. Once we got in and started using it, I found that like, shoot, if my sales reps that are out in the field, they miss, like on a weekend or late night, they miss a contact from a customer, or if it's just a silly generic question, I'm like, there's got to be a way for AI to pick up that conversation so that it almost creates a seamless experience. And so looked at Hatch's website and I was like, you guys have an AI. What the heck? I want to get in on it. That's what I need. There was a selling component in terms of the automations that Hatch featured that was intriguing to us to couple that with the AI. It was just strictly an AI like chat bot. And yes, leads come in here, but I'm not able to like filter them through and status them the way I would like to. Yes, they have a ServiceTitan plugin. They're just not really targeting closing the sale and then getting the sale booked. What I have set up is every single one of my guys that sells has their own campaign. And so say for example, I've got Eric. Eric goes out, has a conversation with a customer. Now Eric has his own pipeline of customers in there. The automations say that it is Eric that's following back up. Hey, Mr. Customer, it's Eric again, right? Just wanted to see how things are going. I have a custom voicemail drop that happens like on day 3 with Eric's voice. And then I program the AI to almost sound like Eric. Like Eric's a little bit more jovial, a little bit more fun, a little bit more laid back than say like a Dylan who's a little bit more stoic. But then Eric has Hatch on his phone, and Eric can then jump in too and directly have conversation with the customer and pick up at any point in time. Well, I can rest easy knowing every single sale opportunity is followed up with, where as good as the guys are, I mean, they're not 100% good. No one is. That's the human element.
Yep.
So knowing that we're trying multiple fronts multiple times, and then on top of that, it's also a plus when they do follow up on top of Hatch. I knew we were not executing at a level of excellence or 100%, and now we are without even having to think about it. So if there's a particularly hot lead that's engaging, they're going back and forth, and he wants to then step in and take over from where the AI is having a conversation, he's able to do so without feeling the need to be like constantly on his device. So for me as a sales leader, I know the job's getting done, but I also know that I'm not a cruel taskmaster to my sales guys and expecting them to be available round the clock. I've prompted the AI with a lot of our information and a lot of the rules that we've set up so that the guys can really focus on the opportunities to actually sell directly instead of having to wade through all the different messaging that comes through. I find it helpful to be able to kind of fast forward to that part of it.
Yep.
And again, pick out what's important so we can implement, like a triage effect, if you will. Where do I spend my attention where it makes the most impact, as opposed to having long drawn out conversations that may not yield a transaction in this particular instance. Like there's duct cleaning offers, which we like duct cleaning offers, they're great. We're running, furnace maintenance specials. Let the bot and the automations handle that, right? Like the coolest fun messages that we see is like, okay, I'm ready to move forward. Then we step in. It's super helpful. What I'm interested in is the sales follow. We went out, we ran the lead, Now it's time to help the close rate. And that's where it starts to segue into the individual salespeople's campaign, and it's their job to foster their pipeline. And I got a guy who's particularly sharp. He knows when there are promos coming to an end, he'll actually set up his own campaign with his own contacts and his own pipeline and say like, hey guys, our spooktacular is ending for November. Like, make sure to move to get something going now.
Yep.
And they'll farm out of their pipeline. Ideally, I'd have like a this year without Hatch and this year with Hatch. And then I'd be able to say, unfortunately, in this economy and this year, even with such a powerful tool like Hatch, it's an election year with a down economy, record high inflation rates, record number of banks going out of business. I mean, how do you factor that in? Like, if I compared my year-to-date close rate and my year-to-date average ticket this year, and I say, oh, Hatch is just really dropping the ball compared to last year, it's not a very fair assessment. So, anecdotally, again, without having quantifiable, objective data, I do believe that Hatch has helped us close more jobs than had we not had the tool. Because we have directly closed jobs through Hatch and through the automations and the AI conversations. We've closed jobs that we've gone and ran estimates for that we may not have followed up on, right? So there's that. We've resuscitated customers out of the nurture campaign, right? A few here and there, whether it was indoor air quality, whether it was duct cleaning, whatever the heck it was, like, we've been able to bring them back up to the surface and close jobs that way. So had we not had Hatch, I don't think we would have closed those jobs. So I have guys that sell for me. I know for a fact, like, their follow-up game, depending on the month, can be pretty decent. In our busy months, it could be non-existent. So again, knowing for a fact that like all their customers that they run are getting followed up on gives me the peace of mind to look the owner in the face. Hey, yes, from a sales standpoint, we're touching these customers multiple times because we know for a fact that most salespeople don't even follow up past the second time, and it takes 5 to 12 follow-ups to make the sale.
Yep.
We just know that. So from a sales organization standpoint, very big on follow-ups, and this helps us kind of hit that metric. So I've tried to tweak them a bit here and there, but again, based on what campaign it is. Speed to lead's pretty professional. Once it gets into the individual campaigns, it's tailored more around who that person is. So to try and convey the personality style. Once it goes into nurture, it might be a little bit more conversational and a little bit more trying to like get them on in and convert, because at that point, like, you really have nothing to lose. You've already lost kind of the customer, right? Like, ask for the sale a little bit more strongly, or like push them a little bit more to make a decision, right? So yeah, and they're all named. Like, I got like a Michael, a Terry, a Dennis. I've got Eric, a Nate, a Shane, Dylan. I mean, they're all interesting in their own unique way, and they're supposed to be. So some are going to be pretty reluctant and hesitant about adding in this kind of technology, right? Because they just don't feel like they're equipped to set it up. Because let's be real, like, it's not a set up and forget it. It's something that you have to continuously work on. And I'm very technologically forward, and I've seen how the adaptation of technology has helped propel and catapult businesses to the next tier. But at the same time, I realize that you have to have somebody to work those solutions into your sales flow and into your operational flow. And it's a helpful add-on. We're already using Hatch, right? Yep. We enjoy it. It's almost like a safety net, because the worst thing that I would want our customers to experience is they send in an inquiry or they have a question, and if they feel like it's falling on deaf ears, they're going to more than likely search that answer out through a competitor of ours. And we're in this phase of instant gratification where I got to have it, and I got to have it now, and I got to cross it off my list while I'm and if you can make it so easy for them to choose you, so easy for them to get the answer from you, then you have a much better chance possibility of retaining them as a customer or securing them as a customer.